Hi, I'm Dustin from Action1, and today I'm going to show you how you can use role-based access control, or RBAC, to add an additional layer of security into your Action1 account. When you add a user in Action1, you're required to select a role for that user, which specifies what permissions they have and what components of the Action1 console they have access to. The principle of least privilege is to grant users only the bare minimum access that they need to perform their required tasks. For smaller organizations, where only a couple of IT admins log into Action1, they will generally have the full enterprise admin role assigned to them, as either of them may need to do any potential task in the console. However, there are many other situations where custom limited permission roles are useful. For example, larger organizations with many potential users of the Action1 console, MSPs that are co-managing Action1 with their clients, IT staff that are adding an intern, or even companies where executives just want to log in to view the reports are all common reasons to use RBAC to make custom roles. So let's talk about how to do that. Here on the roles page, first thing you'll need to do is click New Role and give it a name. So in this case, let's use that last example of executives for one of your clients as an MSP that wants to view the reports. So we'll make a role, we'll give it a name, Report Viewer here, and that'll be for customer A in this case. So we'll do that there. And then you'll add the permissions that you need them to have access to. So in this case, they obviously want to view the reports. So we'll search for reports and give them the view reports permission. Now in this case, they're not going to need to manage those reports. They just want to view them. So view is sufficient here. The next thing you'll need to do is specify a scope for this permission. So are they going to have this permission across the whole enterprise, or are they just going to have it for a specific organization or an individual report? In this case, we just want them to have access to the reports for their organization, for their tenant. So we'll select Organization and Customer A here and click Add. And they'll probably also want access to the dashboard, so we'll give them the View Dashboards permission and scope it again to the Customer A organization here. Then, once you've selected all the permissions that this particular role needs to have, you can click Create Role, and it has been created here. You can see on the Permissions tab what access it has here. Now, for a full overview of all of the permissions, we have that all documented on our website. So you can come in here and see all the different permissions that they have, what they do, what scopes you can restrict them to, as well as any implicitly included permissions that are a part of that permission in question. So feel free to take a look at this for all of the different information that you might need for that. Once you've created a role, you can then use that role when you add a new user. You'll be able to select that custom role here. And if there's an existing user that you want to restrict access to, you can give them that role here as well. Sometimes you may have multiple roles that you want to grant to a specific user. You can do that as well. So say you want to give them customer A, customer B, and customer C access, but not your other tenants. You can set up a custom role-based access control role for each of those organizations. So now we know how to add a role. We know how to set permissions for the role. We know how to assign users, a role to the users. And the next step for you is to identify what permissions your users specifically need and create roles for those and assign them to them.